Hey everybody, this is Henry here, and welcome to our new TWRC radio show, 2091 Empire News. I'm one of your hosts, Crimson2091, and I'm here with my co-host, or other host, Roman's TWR Empire.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Henry's co-host, as he said, on 2091 Empire News. Originally, the show was just planned to have Henry as the host, but I decided to tag along. So yeah,
Yep,
it's gonna be cool. It's really cool to be on community radio because I remember all the way back in 2015 being on the first episode of Thomas Battles. That was a fun time.
yeah, and I was never even on TWRC radio before. Um, like I've never been on it in the past, and now we're doing a show on it. But anyway, let's get to the gist of our show. Basically, our show is it's the news. We cover we talk about videos, content, or any sort of like notable events that happen in the community. You know, like whether it be something most people know about or like talking about videos like they're kind of obscure that you might not know about before, but if you see it on here, it might interest you, and maybe go check it out. And there's and that's one of the things I'm gonna try my best to do, like, is to talk about like videos or content or other stuff that isn't really that a lot of people might not know about. Like that's probably gonna be my favorite thing to do, like, or to talk about in this show. So I'm pretty excited for that. But anyway, we got a list of stuff that we're going to be talking about. Usually, like, this is our first episode. Usually we'll mainly cover stuff that happens in between shows or content that gets uploaded in between shows. So that will be like about a month in between, or at least we're hoping. But here we're going to be talking about some stuff that might have happened a bit further back than that, like over the summer, because there was a lot of stuff that happened over the summer that is really notable to talk about. Yeah, but anyway, we got our list of stuff to talk about. I'm gonna hand it off to Roman now to talk about our first topic. So take it away, Roman.
Okay, so the first topic we're going to be discussing on this news show is a big thing that I'm sure most, if not all, of the people watching this know about. We're going to be talking about the two big meetups of the summer, or at least so far. I mean, who knows? There might be another one that
Yeah,
we don't know
yeah.
about yet. But for right now, we're going to be talking about the two big meetups, Shining Time and Midwest Mashup. So we're just gonna go into detail about like our experiences there,
Yeah, yeah, because like
just
Roman here,
more of an insider look.
yeah, because Roman went to Shining Time and I went to Midwest Mashup, so it's a pretty good balance of, so like we can tell our stories of our experiences with them. But we're gonna go ahead and let Roman go first. So take it away, my boy.
Yeah. So all right, let's see. Where do I? So I'm basically gonna be doing a quick summary of all my days I spent there. So let me start out. It was Sunday, July the 14th. My plan, and this is what happened. My plan was to drive up to my friend Matt Twillman's place in Maryland, and I was gonna stay the night with him to then go on to the meetup the next day, which started on the 15th. So, yeah, I spent the majority of my Sunday afternoon driving up across many mountainous regions of Virginia and such. And I got there, and I forgot to mention, Ted was also there at this point, Oliver Duck. He had come down to Matt's area to spend the day with him, so they had been doing some stuff. And then we all congregated at his house, and we spent the evening together. We went to dinner. We went back to his house. We
Yeah.
got some stuff for the meetup and
When you
such.
were at Matt's house,
And
I know last year you guys, like, when you guys had a meet up there, you guys made like a layout, or like a big layout. Did you do anything like that this year? By, like, out of curiosity?
oh no, we didn't. We passed through there quick. We were
Oh
in
yeah,
there for like a half hour, maybe just digging up some stuff we could bring
yeah, gotcha.
that people might want to see. So yeah, so then it was pretty much sleepy time at that point. So the next day we wake up, me, Matt, and Ted. We go to the airport and we pick up Train King James, or I call him James. I've known him for 5 years. That's what I've always called him.
Yeah, that's what I called him too.
Master of the Lemons, which most people know this at this point, but we refer to him as Lemmy. That's his nickname. So we picked them two up. We spent the morning. We went to the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad Museum, like we did the year prior. Me, Matt, Multi-Green Thunder, James, and Lemmy, we all went there during one of our days, and yeah, that was fun. But we experienced it this time with Ted. A bunch of crazy things happened. We were looking around at all the engines. Ted was very intrigued by how you could. He found out that you could move some of the levers and such inside the engine.
That's fun.
And switch gears and switch the reversing mechanism and such. And he noticed that one of the levers opened.
That's such a Ted thing.
Yeah, it really is. So he switched one of the levers and it opened the firebox of the engine. And I'm not exactly sure what Ted was thinking here, but he stuck his head in the firebox and he found that there was a bunch of trash in there. But then he also noticed that it wasn't Thomas Wooden Railway, but it was like an off-brand wooden express coach was inside the firebox. So with the help of Lemmy and a crowbar, they fished it out, and that was funny. We just looked at all the engines. We had a fun time. It was really cool. Took a couple pictures, of course, and if you've been on Twitter, you probably have seen some. So then we went to lunch. We went to lunch, and then we went to a couple stores to just fool around and look at the stuff they had. And at this point, we got all our stuff together. We hit the road for Shining Time, and our car was completely packed to the brim.
Oh yeah, stuff. You showed me a picture of Ted in the car, like with the containers and everything. That was cool.
Yeah, we were quite packed, I would say. We kind of overestimated the amount of space we had, but we worked it out. We didn't stop for dinner. We took the drive. We forged it through, and we got to the location for the meetup, and then we had dinner once we unpacked and checked into the hotel and such, and there was finally stuff off our laps and such. But before we went to dinner, we met everybody else, and for me, this was pretty overwhelming because I was like, oh boy, because for me at least, this was a lot of people to meet. So far we've had Here the Japanese Train, Master of the Lemons, Train King James, Oliver Duck, and me. So in a quick 2 to 3 minute time span, I'd say, because there was a bunch of rushing of people. The first person I met, I think, was Eric Pierre 53, if my memory serves me correct. Then Multi-Green Thunder, who I had already met the year prior, but it was a nice to see you again moment. Then William Polteski, Turtles and Thomas. Then Enterprising Engine 93, Jolly Good Idea Films. Let's see.
A lot of people.
Yeah, quite a lot of people. Yeah. Sodor Fan 2K10, Mr. MPS 2002, Wooden Railway Only, and Thomas Wooden Railway. I think. Oh, right. I forgot Vincente 22 as well. Yeah, that was everybody. As far as my memories keeping me afloat, I think that was everybody. So I met all of them. It was like a rush of people, and it was kind of overwhelming, but it was really fun and awesome at the same time. And keep in mind, this was late at night at this point. We had gotten there pretty late, but yeah. So we didn't, contrary to last year's meetup, the TWR Con meetup, we didn't meet at the hotel. In in the place that we stayed at, there was this gym that we rented out, and we stored all our Thomas stuff there for the week. And we had tables and such that we put our stuff on for people to look at if they wanted to just come around. It was kind of like a little train show in a way. I mean, mostly nothing was for sale. I mean, there was some stuff for sale, and I'll get to that later. But yeah, it was cool. So we had it all set up on tables. That's where we met everybody. That's where we dropped off our Thomas stuff. And then we went to eat dinner, and then we called it a night. The next day, first thing we did is we went back to the gym real quick to gather some stuff. But then we headed off to the infamous park that has been seen in many Sir Handel reviews at this point. I'm not sure if the fourth one will be out by this point, but there is a fourth one. So we went to that park.
Is Turtles channel?
Yeah, it is.
Right. Yeah,
so we went to the park. We filmed that video actually, and then we just did some exploring. We went around, goofed around, did stuff like that. There were a couple Twitter videos we did just for fun. Like, for example, Wooden Railway Only's Avengers Assemble video. We did that. So yeah, we went around. We looked at the waterfalls and such. It was really nice and relaxing, honestly. And then we were exploring. Kind of got split up a little bit. Almost had some near-death experiences. Not really. I mean, we just slipped and fell a couple times, but it wasn't anything major. Yeah. So then we went off to eat lunch. Then we went back to the gym, and that's where we spent the rest of the day. There was this like huge wooden table in there from the start, and we decided, just out of pure boredom, I think a couple people, Wooden Railway Only, or I'm going to call him Ro for short, because that's how I refer to him as. Yeah. Ro and MPS, they started fooling around with some of his track and such. Oh, I forgot to mention, honestly, some of the stuff that people brought. I'm sure you've seen, I'll be really quick with this, because I'm sure you've seen, even as potato quality as it is, Enterprising Engine 93's live stream that we did.
I remember I was watching later on live. It was the night before I was heading up for Midwest. It was getting me hyped.
Yeah, it was a good time. But let's see. So Turtles brought some of his Sudrian conflict stuff. He brought his huge white-faced troublesome truck. He brought a couple other cool things. I can't remember exactly what at this point. I don't think Vincent brought much of anything because he was flying, which is understandable. Will or William, whichever you want to call him, he brought some model trains. He brought some wooden railway trains. Specifically, he brought, this was really cool, a metallic James, TWR metallic James, which is, if you didn't know, a Japan exclusive model. So that was really neat to look at. Enterprising, he brought some of his customs that people have made for him for his series, and they were really good. I love looking at them. They also brought some I think they went to a hobby store before they got to the meetup, so they brought some of that stuff. Him and Jolly Good Idea, they brought, their stuff was like together, I think, I'm pretty sure. Eric, he brought some model train stuff. He brought a lot of track, which was really helpful for later. He brought some model railway buildings, which he uses in his videos. Specifically, like those house backdrops, they're pretty iconic for his videos. I think you guys know what I'm saying. Chase, or Thomas Wooden Railway, he brought a bunch of factory airs, actually. He brought many. I can't specifically remember which ones, but he's got a factory air video coming up too, I think, because he's been asking. Yeah, he does actually. Yeah, he's been asking for submissions on Twitter and stuff. Yeah, be sure to check that out when that comes out. But yeah, so he brought a bunch of factory airs. He also brought, this was cool, he brought I think it was a prototype, or maybe it was like a test model. It was used in the TCC. It was the Thomas Wood Bell, which in its initial form, unpainted, has not been released, and I doubt
know that.
will ever be released. But that was really cool because it's like,
That's
well,
nice.
that's a one of a kind thing. So that was really
is
neat
it?
to look at. I'm pretty sure because I think it was just a test model.
Nice.
Because they didn't. I don't think they manufactured the second wave of engines by the time they canceled it. But yeah, he brought that. He brought a poster for everybody to sign. It was actually the same one that he. I don't know if he's talked about this on Twitter, but he brought a poster last year to TWRC and people signed it. It was the same one. He just added submissions from this year. Then there was Wooden Railway Only or Row stuff. Oh, I forgot to mention Simon. He brought his Brio battery operated Thomas and Annie Clarabelle.
Simon Sodor fan 2K10, right?
Yes, it is.
Right, yeah, that's what I thought. Just making sure.
So let's see, where was I? Wooden Railway Only. He brought, I would say, almost his entire collection of destinations.
Yeah.
He went all out. He fit as much stuff as he could in his car because he came by himself, but he fit as much stuff as he possibly could. He brought so many destinations. It was awesome. A lot of them which I did not have, so it was cool to look at them. James, he brought some of his series models, some of his just rare items, stacking risers, a few destinations, I think. Whatever he could fit in his suitcase, because he took a train. I tried to bring a good chunk of stuff. I brought a full totes worth of stuff. I brought some obscure destinations, some more obscure switch track pieces. I brought some customs I've made for my remakes. I brought some rare items, and that was about it for me. Multi, he brought some of his more iconic items like Rosie, the bubble loader, a few other things. I think a Trackmaster, an original, like a Trackmaster Hit Toy Company truck pack in the box. That was really cool to look at. Let's see.
There's cool stuff, basically.
Matt Twillman, Hero of the Japanese Train. He brought Sodor Bay Bridges, so other destinations, some his Friedrich models, Brio models, really anything we suggested for him to bring, because me and Ted and James and Lemmy, we kind of picked some of the things that he should bring. And finally, Master of the Lemons. Master of the Lemons, he brought custom models for his new upcoming series that is not new upcoming series, but like new custom models that he's made for his series coming soon, and also some older models which appeared in his first 4 episodes. Ted, he brought a full totes worth of stuff too. He didn't take it though. He flied to Matt's place, but
you mean flew?
Yeah, my mistake. William Politeski actually took this stuff for him.
Yeah,
they live quite close to each other. Okay.
I'll
so
add to that when I'm talking.
He brought a bunch of track. He brought a bunch of track to build his Farquhar sit, which he is in love with. He custom built buildings for it, but he brought a bunch of track for it. And yeah, MPS, he didn't bring much because he flew. And I think that's about it.
Nice.
So, I also forgot to mention, Chase was selling some stuff too, so he brought some stuff he was selling. But yeah, so that's it for right now. So, also in the morning, I forgot to mention on Tuesday, the group or an additional group of people arrived, and they were Ed's Trains, Brendan Reese 10, Blue 65 Tank, Jaden D 247. I believe that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I messed that up.
I think it is too. Could be wrong though. Yeah, gotcha.
And finally, Zara 21 King. Oh my goodness, I forgot that. But yeah, so they were the modeling modeling group of
Yeah.
all of us because I mean all the people mentioned before were wooden railway people primarily. I mean, Eric and Will I know have some interest in model trains and others also, but they brought all the model stuff. Those guys. Ed brought. Oh my goodness, Ed brought so much stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it looked like you did.
He brought a ton of stuff that he was selling for people if they wanted to buy, and he also brought a bunch of like obscure rare things. Like he brought like Magic Railroad film reels, like signed cards from Ghislaine Entertainment, pictures of Britt Allcroft at the Thomas and the Magic Railroad premiere, Japanese books full of not restored, but very high quality, very clear photos of season 6 and 7 episodes, just random shots from them, and they were like really good quality. It was so cool to look at, and many more things, but I could go on for days about that. Zara 21 King, he brought some models which he's using for his 80s revamp, which is basically, if you haven't heard about it, a remake and also some original stories of season 1 style, and he's made HO models that reflect that, and they look really good. Brendan Reese, he brought models from his Thomas the Movie project, which he's still working on. Blue 65 Tank, he works in conjunction with Zara 21 King. And finally, Jaden, he brought, I forget who exactly owned each, but in conjunction with him, some of them, they brought G-scale Thomas models. They brought Thomas, Percy, and James, and Annie and Clarabelle, and they also brought a Lionel Thomas, and it was cool because they set all these up, Oops, a track to run, and for all of us to look at, of course, and it was really neat. It's like I've never seen large-scale models running. I've seen them in stores, but I've never bought one, never owned one, never seen one before in person, so that was really cool. And yeah, so continuing what I was saying about Tuesday, so we just explored the park, then we had lunch, and then we went back to the gym, and that's where we saw the modeling stuff. Then we got bored, and we started building a little layout on this big table. And there's a video coming out soon. I'm not exactly sure when, but on Thomas Wooden Railway's channel, a video about it if you want to see more detail on that. And then that was about it for Tuesday. So Wednesday called for rain. So what we did is we spent the whole day basically in the gym. We didn't go back to the park. We spent the whole day in the gym, and it was really cool, honestly, because we just fooled around a bunch. We just looked at stuff, talked. Like nothing major happened on Wednesday, but it was just fun to hang out because it's like the more time for that, the better. Thursday was a more important day, so we started out by going to the park again to film some other projects, which we didn't really end up filming much. We hung out more at the park, and it was fun because we walked around, we drove around to all the different spots, and we just talked and made jokes and all that, and it was just a good time all around. Oh my goodness, I forgot to mention something about Wednesday actually that was pretty important that I completely forgot about. So I'm sorry, people, I'm going all over the place. But on Wednesday in like the afternoon time, we did a screening and a premiere for all the people that were at the meetup at the time, at least, of projects that were upcoming for our channels. And my goodness,
I
remember
hearing about that.
It was a good time. We started out watching Thomas Blows His Stack, which is a classic fan video. And then we watched a bunch of our projects. I can't disclose what they are because they are to be secret mostly.
You guys you got like like users that were there were like presenting like projects or like videos they hadn't
For the
released yet to the
yeah,
public.
for the most part, yes.
All right, yeah.
One I know one of them's already out. MPS's reaction to some of the new Big World Big Adventures episodes. He premiered that. And then this one is Common Knowledge. Ted's episode 11. We saw that, and that was really good. That's coming out soon.
He's got like is it like finished, or was it like kind of like a work in progress?
It was finished filming, but it was a rough cut in terms of voices and editing, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, that should be coming soon. I would imagine, because Ted has been pretty excited about that.
Update video, he said that he presented like a part of his like Henry and the Express remake project too. In his update
yeah, he
video.
did. He is adapting the Henry and the Express Railway series book into a Adventure Begins style, and we saw the first story, which in the book is Out of Puff. We saw that one,
right?
Because that's all he had done at that point. But yeah, a bunch of other stuff that I don't think I can talk about at this point. But when you see them, you'll when you see them, you'll love them. So yeah, so that was one of the big things on Wednesday. I also forgot to mention that 2 people arrived on Wednesday. First was Diesel D199, which holy moly, that was interesting, because it's like you go from a bunch of people that all share the same interest in wooden railway, and then you add the model people, and that was really cool. And then you go and expand it to one of the biggest YouTube Thomas users that there is, and it's like, wow. I mean, because it's like, I'm sure everyone watching this has watched his shorts and has laughed a lot at them and just been like, man, this guy's great. So it was really cool to meet him, and he was nice, of course. Everyone was nice, and it was great. And also that day, Annie C arrived. And yeah, we watched her project too, which she has released, by the way. It is the
Grand Puff remake, right? Not Grand Puff, my bad. Gallon
Old
remake, right?
Yeah, Gallon Old Engine remake retelling.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what to call it, but yeah. Yeah, so that's the main events for Wednesday. Let me just start over on Thursday. So Thursday, we start out going to the park, and we fool around. We have a bunch of fun. We were going to film some projects, but time got away from us, really, and we were just having fun.
Right.
It was again more a hangout day, but we walked around all the places in the park and just fooled around, and it was a good time. And then later in the afternoon, we go back to get lunch, and then we go to the gym again, and we meet. This was really cool. Cardi is his Twitter, YouTube handle, but his YouTube, or not his Twitter. I don't know what I just said. Unknown Thomas Fan 1 is his YouTube.
Yeah, I saw him in the stream. I could be wrong, but I don't think like he was like introduced in the stream. But I saw him going around. I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure that's Cardi, but I'm not. Wasn't too sure.
Yeah, I don't think he had a part in the stream really, but yeah, he was there. We of course talked to him a bunch. He is working, if you haven't, I'm sure you've heard, he's working on a documentary on the Thomas fan base. So that was really cool to talk to him about that. He was a really nice guy, and it was just great to meet him. So that night we live streamed, and I'm sure you guys have seen this. We built a huge layout. And we built one of the biggest wooden railway layouts we could, with a bunch of our collections combined. And it was a lot of fun. And then the next day, this was the final day of the meetup. A lot more people arrived. The main event of the final day was a premiere screening in an actual movie theater. A rough cut of Mr. Conductor Fan 1406's Thomas and the Magic Railroad, or he just calls it the Magic Railroad parody, starring Wooden Railway Reviews or Rob, and I gotta say, it was really funny. It was great. There was a lot of good stuff in it. At this point, only 3 parts of the movie have been released, but from what we've seen, it was really good. You guys will love it. And that was the main event of the day. Arriving that day, Sudrian Railway Modeler, or Steven is his name. That was really cool. If you don't know, he's he's a modeler guy. He scratch builds Skarloey Railway engines, and they look, oh my gosh, fantastic. And he even brought some of the models for us to look at. We also met Rob, Wooden Railway Reviews, and Mr. Conductor fan as well, as he was the creator of the movie, and finally a lead actor in the movie, Jacob Jarrett. So that was fun. It was a good time. Oh, and also Ryan 3 Henry the Green Engine. He arrived on Thursday. I can't believe I forgot to mention that. But yeah, I think that is all the people that were at the meetup, and that is really the end of the story.
Nice.
It was like the next day is when we all left and said our goodbyes. It was like mid-afternoon, and it was sad, but that was the end, really. It was a big trip. It was like 5 days. It was great. It was so much fun. And I think I'm going to pass it on to Henry now, my co-host or host, and he's going to talk about Midwest Mashup.
All right, so like Roman said before, like there's a Shining Time meetup which he was a part of, and I was a part of Midwest Mashup, and it was the second year of doing it. Like, well, I mean, the meetup happened, like it existed before, but when I started doing it, it was like we called it Midwest Mashup. But anyway, it was a real fun time. I'm just gonna get into it. I'm gonna try not to ramble, but I'm gonna give you my story, like my experience with it. So on Friday, which it happened the same week or weekend as Shining Time did, and it was a funny coincidence. Anyway, on Friday, I leave my house, I drive up to Ronnie's house, and I hang out with him and some of his real life friends. We go bowling, and we go to a pizza place, and we eat pizza. It was all fun. After that,
Ronnie's channel name, by the way, is Edward the Great 248.
Yeah, my bad. Well, actually, now I think it's called Rondog 248. But yeah, he's called Rondog 248 on YouTube. I think now. But anyway, he kind of changes it up every now and then. But yeah, like after we go eat pizza, like we kind of say bye to his friends. We go back to his place and we kind of build some sets. I brought some stuff like to bring to the meetup. I brought my double wide iron bridge, so we put it on his set, and we kind of made a set built around it, and we filmed a little bit on it. We filmed some Cow on the Line stuff in case he ever wanted to do a Cow on the Line remake. Like with Ronnie, he kind of just like films all sorts of stuff, and then once he has enough for something, he'll put it together and do it. But he's working on a project right now. I know. I'm not sure when it's gonna come out, but anyway. But yeah, that's mainly what we did for the most of the night. We watched some YouTube videos and just having fun, having a good time. And then we went to bed. And the next morning on Saturday, we get up and we head to the Day Out with Thomas at the Illinois Railway Museum. And we drive there, and then we get there. We were the first two people to get there, and then shortly after, Harwick. Hold on, just one sec. But yeah, Jamie or Harwick. He's D261 Harwick on Twitter. We like he's the first guy to like meet us there, or to get there after us. So we just walk around. We're like I think we get some stuff to eat at that point, and then we're just chilling. and then Sir R2D2 or Nick, he was the next guy to get there, and so it was us four, and at that point we are sitting at a table just showing off the stuff we got or that we brought, and then a bit after we were sitting at the table for a while. That's when the Toad train got there, and with him he brought Alvin, which is his friend, and he runs the Toad train accounts with Toad, but he's not as seen. With him he brought Duck and Duncan, Scarloey Rheneas, the famous eight, Crovenskate 55, and the real Carrot, or we just call him Carrot. And then at that point I was like freaking out. I was super excited because these are guys I talk to on a regular basis, and it was really fun to like see them I met Toad and Duck and Duncan last year at last year's Midwest Mashup, but then there was also Scarloy Rheneas, who I met up with earlier that year with Easy, and then there was the famous Eight and Carrot, and that like I said, those are like some of my really closer friends in the community, but like we go around and we ride on like at the railway museum. They have trolleys that go like around the museum, and we didn't ride on Thomas, but we rode on the trolleys. We did a round or two around because the trolleys are free.
I
And
gotta say real quick, just if yeah, I'm not sure if you guys know this or not, but last year when me, Here the Japanese Train, Master of the Lemons, Multi Green Thunder, and James, we all met up.
yeah,
We went to Strasbourg day out with Thomas, and at Strasbourg it's like a heritage railway, so they have real life steam engines operating a train service it's like a 30-minute passenger ride, but that's what they do at Strasbourg. They have like steam and diesel engines. They don't have trolleys, so that's something cool and different. I just wanted to mention that.
it was fun. Because some of them you could actually like stand in, but most of the time you have to sit down. But it was a lot of fun. But around that time, we decided to we hung out there for a bit longer, and then we headed back to the Toad's place, and I drove back, and I took Ronnie and Connor. Scarloy Rheneas, his name's Connor, so I took Ronnie and Connor back to Toad's place, and driving in Chicago, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Like it was definitely different because I don't like where I live, at least compared to Chicago. It's a pretty rural area. I don't really have to deal with like traffic or busy streets all that much, and it was an interesting. It was a good experience, but anyway, we get to Toad's house, and then we go down to his basement, and we're just chilling, watching some videos on Toad's TV because he had YouTube up on his TV, and we were just watching random videos, and we were going through we were looking at some of his customs, like his Emily he made, and City of Truro, and other ones too. And then we went to my bad, we didn't go anywhere. We were in Toad's basement. We went to anyway, yeah. But he had a bin of stuff that he was selling, and I bought like some custom troublesome trucks, some kind of utility van box cars, and then some what else? Oh, some brown coaches. bought a couple other things too. But anyway, uh, we we're there for a while, and then eventually Neil the Ugly Engine '02, the Trainiac 123 or Dalton, and then Havrod 1996, and Flying Thistle Studios, in Really Useful Engine. They get there in like they were supposed to meet us at the day out with Thomas, but they ran into some complications, and they didn't end up getting there until after we left. But they met us at Toad's, and I guess like it was sunny when we were there, but I guess when they got there, it was like the place just like burst into like a storm, and like it was really windy, like tents and stuff apparently were like blowing everywhere, and they were hoping like the workers like get their stuff like together and everything, and like that was fun to tell. They told us about it. It was interesting like to listen to. It sounded crazy. But anyway, so we're sitting there, and like we're just having a good time, eating some hot dogs, and then later on, Will showed up, William Politaski, and he in like the day I'm on was the last day of shining time, so that morning he left from there to come to Midwest, and he didn't get there till like 8 or like 8:30 at night. And at that point, I think that's when everyone was together except Harwick, because he wasn't able to come to Toad's house, and I feel his pain because last year at Midwest Mashup, I wasn't able to go to Toad's house. I was only able to go to the day out with Thomas because I had to go to work the next day, so I had to get home. It was unfortunate, but I'm glad I got to stay the night at Toad's this year. Anyway, like once Will got there, Toad started a custom contest, and almost everyone there made customs of their own. There wasn't really a winner. It was mainly just, Toad wanted to see people, he wanted to see what people could do custom wise. Because like that's his main thing is doing customs, and he's really good at it, and he always likes seeing what other people can do, custom wise. I made a generic American style steam tender engine. It's not really based on anything. It's not based on a real engine, but I made it because I thought I'd make it for a project I'm working on, that I haven't really talked about really publicly. I think this is my first time talking about it publicly, but hopefully in good time. It's something I've been working on like on and off for a while. Hopefully eventually it'll like I'll be able to
It'll come to light eventually.
Hopefully it'll come. It's there's still a lot of work to be done on it. Anyway, Ronnie made a Green Arrow. Carrot made a Carrot car. Will made a Troublesome Truck, I believe, and Connor made an engine from an annual story. I forgot what it was. Dalton made like those two engines at the beginning of 3 railway engines. The ones that get sent away. I forgot like their names are numbers, but those were really good. That was clever. And then the Famous 8 made a mystery machine from Scooby Doo. That was probably like my favorite like custom from that, because it was really clever and it was really well done. He used a bulgy and sanded it down and cut it and stuff. Like I had some of the most effort out of anyone's customs into it, and it looked. He didn't finish it there. He didn't finish it at Toad's house, but like the work he did at that point was really good, and like I really liked that. Some other stuff. Croven made a generator smudger, and that was really nice. And then Sir R2D2 made a Railway Series livery James. That was good too. I can't remember what anyone else did, but anyway, and then after Duck and Duncan, he had a video to play for us. It was like that was the only time that it was ever gonna be like shown, and it was amazing. It was a great video. It was basically a tribute to everyone involved in the meetup. It was great. It was a really thoughtful video. It was pretty cool. Um, uh, and then eventually the people that spent the night were me, uh, Ronnie, Connor, the famous eight, Carrot, Will, and Croven, and I believe that, and then Toad and Alvin were there too, obviously. Um, but anyway, I'm pretty sure that was it. Like if I'm forgetting anyone, I'm sorry, but uh, we basically pulled an all nighter. We were all up till at least like 6, and then I was up till like 8:30 or something, but in the morning. But we did all sorts of fun stuff. We were just we we what we watched Megamind, which is a good movie, like a good movie. Toad loves that movie, and rightfully so. It's a good movie. Brief summary: it was a fun time. We like eventually, like in the morning or like around noon or afternoon, like people started leaving. Matt, or Duck and Duncan's name's Matt. He was playing Five Nights at Thomas's, and then slowly people started leaving. Um, but like me and Ronnie left, and I spent another night at Ronnie's house because we got back to his house late, and then the next morning I headed off to home. But yeah, it was a really fun meetup. I had a lot of fun meetups this year. I met up with Ronnie a couple times prior to Midwest. I met up with Percy number 6. I met up with Lego Lover 117. And I also met up with Connor and Easy too, as well. But yeah, this year has been really fun meetup wise for me. Uh, and it like Midwest. It was a great, like it was a great
For sure as
weekend.
well.
So what was that?
I was just saying, like as well, it was a really great
Yeah,
time and it
yeah,
was amazing.
yeah. Meetups are a great thing. Like I remember like shortly after Midwest and Shining Time, I remember seeing Turtles on Twitter. He said meetups are my favorite part of being in the community, and well, honestly, I'd have to agree.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
yeah, it's real fun. Um, but yeah, like that's basically our takes on each other's meetups. It took a really long time. Um, I'm actually not sure
I'm
how
sure you
long.
guys were interested in hearing that though, whether it
Yeah,
was long or
yeah,
not.
yeah.
I know I would definitely be if I was listening to
Yeah,
this.
no,
So we're
it's
sorry. We're definitely sorry for the long length of this episode.
yeah,
Future
most
episodes would probably be shorter.
yeah, yeah,
But
most episodes
yeah.
like topics shouldn't take this long, but I thought it would be a great thing. Great, we both thought that was a good topic to start off on.
So would you like to introduce the next topic, Henry?
Yeah, I will. So this next section is gonna be some videos that have come out recently. Of course, there's Vinny's movie, The Magic Railroad, which Roman talked about. Like he had like a screen, they had a screen at Shiny Town about it. Yeah, in as of like the recording of this video, the first 3 parts have come out. Uh, one every week, and but he said recently that the next parts are gonna take some
Longer
time to
to
like
release.
get ready. So
Basically, there are scenes that have not been filmed yet, and
yeah,
the one we saw at Shining Time was a very rough cut. So
yeah, so
it was
odds
still
are
great for what it was, but
odds are
It'll
it's
take a decent
probably
amount of time for it to come
yeah,
out.
odds are it's probably not going to be like a weekly thing because it's probably gonna take some time to come out. But yeah, so far it's been pretty interesting. It seems like it's a comedic take on like the director's cut of Thomas and the Magic Railroad. It's real fun. Like it's a fun, not something that hasn't been done in the community before. It's like I think it's safe to say
Yeah.
that.
I just would like to mention that the production value on this is, oh my god, it's one of the best, if not, I'm pretty sure honestly at this point, it's like the best in terms of production value any fan made project that has come out in this community, and I gotta appreciate it so much just for that on its own, because it's a official Thomas and Friends fan film, but it's basically an official movie. Like it's not gonna actually be released in theaters, but it's to the level of an official movie. The quality is so good, the editing, all the people that have been a part of it. I think I can just list them off real quick. I know the main people: Mr. Conductor Fan, of course, Rob, Wooden Rowing Reviews, Jacob Jarrett, Sudrian Railway Modeler, and quite a few others. I can't pinpoint their names at this moment, but
Yeah,
yes,
a lot of different users throughout like the community, and as well as some like people from Vinny's real life who are like working on it too. It's it's a very interesting, very like lots of effort and hard work put into it. And it's really like coming out, and it really does show like how much like
yeah.
efforts
If
put
you
into
haven't
it.
checked out the first if you haven't checked out the first three parts yet, go ahead and do it. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's real.
you won't regret it. I mean,
It's
I will say, just as a fair warning, if you don't know, it's definitely R
yeah,
rated.
it's pretty uh like
There
uh
there's some
yeah,
um
there's
like,
some inappropriate parts in it that
yeah.
honestly nothing like out of control. You know, it's not a big deal. But
Yeah, you
anyway,
will love it.
yeah,
So the
yeah,
next
our next
movie.
topic, I mean, it's not necessarily new, but something interesting that's been going on. OrigamiAirEnforcer, which was a user from from a while ago.
The
Uh,
olden days of the Thomas community.
yeah. So there's a channel called our TWR community, and it used to be like a collab channel with OrigamiAirEnforcer, Percy number 6, some other people too. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but now it's really just OrigamiAirEnforcer's. Like it's basically his channel that he uploads his videos on whenever he makes them. But he's been re-uploading some old videos from just a couple from like I think like 2009 or something. He said I could be completely wrong on that, but like some stop motion videos. He had a series like I think it's like Thomas the Idiot Tank Engine and Friends. I know there was some like I remember vaguely as a kid watching like a few series like that where Thomas is an idiot and stuff. And he made one and he uploaded a few things from that. It's pretty interesting to look back on like old videos like that and um, you know, compared to how far the community's come. It's real interesting to look at some old ones too, or like old videos. Um, yeah, it's it's uh it's interesting, but under some
It's a surprise, really.
yeah, like it's cool to have him back like on because I don't think it was I don't think you could see him like until like he re-uploaded them. But anyway, we got a couple videos that from what I've seen they haven't like they're not really that well known, but they're really interesting. Or especially this one I'm gonna be talking about. There's a series called The Duke Diaries made by a user called TSNM. Like that's his that's their channel name, and he's had a series going for a while, and I think and he even had a special with it too, like the Duke Diaries, and it's basically a rundown. It focuses mainly on the narrow gauge engines, mainly Duke, obviously based on the title, but like in his series, Duke is like stuck up and like he's just a complete jerk to the rest of the engines, and like the engines like are obviously really annoyed by him.
It's a
And
different take on Duke's character for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, because Duke
And it's also pretty comedic in the
Duke
same sense
yeah,
as the Magic Railroad.
cause Duke like he's known as like an old wise engine. Like, I mean, yeah, sure you can be grumpy, but like but for the but like um in for the most part he's a well respected engine. But in this he's just a jerk. Anyway, he upload they uploaded a TSNM. They uploaded a new episode recently called Duke's New Brother, and like I'm not gonna like tell like the entire plot of what happens because I mean I want to give you guys a reason to watch it. I'm not just gonna like tell you guys the entire plot, but like at the beginning, like he's wished that he had a brother, but then like he sees Bertram and they're the same class engine, so and then he finds out that he's his brother, and that's all I'll say about it. Like I'm not like I said I'm not gonna like tell you like everything that happens, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's
just go and check it out. Give him some
yeah,
love.
yeah. Everything we talk about, like if it involves a video or anything, like the link to it will be down in the description. Um. Anyway, another thing I thought another video I thought I might add or like put into this as well is a user by the name of Flying Scotsman 4472. He made like he recently started a series called Magic of Sodor, and he uploaded this like a couple days ago at the recording of this. But I thought it was an interesting series. It takes like the first episode takes place right after the events of Thomas and the Magic Railroad, with just after the chase scene of Diesel with Diesel 10, Lady and Thomas. Um, it's real interesting. Like I said, like I'm not gonna like tell you everything that happens, but one thing I will say, which is interesting in itself, um, James has Thomas's face in it, and that's pretty cool. I'm guessing it's like a factory error, or like he doesn't have like and he doesn't have like a normal James. But I don't know. I just thought that was pretty interesting. But he has a new style. He has like a learning curve, new style James with Thomas's face. It's interesting. Um, but yeah,
Finally, the last video we're gonna talk about is a well known person, and also member on the radio. Percy number 6. He uploaded recently, in the past couple of days when we're recording this, a review on Luke. And according to the video, and you'll see it if you watch it, it has been his first, what he calls, official review in like 2.5 years. So yeah.
yeah.
Henry, you want to go into more
Yeah,
detail
yeah,
about it?
like I'll talk about this next part. Like the main the really important like thing about this video, it gives the official announcement of the TWRC championship. And basically what it is like he right now Percy number 6 is the reigning champion because he beat me when we met up. And he has the wrestling belt to prove it. And basically it's a belt, and and whoever has it, like if you beat the guy with the belt, like the belt's yours, and it's defended under the 24/7 rule, which means it can like the belt can be challenged for at any time. And I'm just gonna say this right now, like Percy number 6, if you're watching this right now, like I'm coming back. Like I'm not gonna go down that easily. I'm gonna be coming back. Like the belt's gonna be mine. Like real soon, man. Like I'm not even playing. Like, you think I'm joking? I'm not. Like, I'm coming for it. So you better watch your back. But anyway, on
That'll be our news story for next
yeah,
time.
yeah,
The
I'm
next
gonna call it
segment,
right
though.
now. The next episode, or our next episode, like, that's gonna be the headline. Crimson 2091 avenges his loss and never
So
loses again. But yeah,
our
yeah,
next
let's go to
segment
the
that we're
next
going to talk
segment.
about, our next segment that we're going to be talking about is, and yeah, this is still videos. We decided to dedicate, at least in this episode, a whole section to it. Some remakes that have come out recently, and I'm sure you guys know. If you don't know, me and Henry, we both have done quite a few remakes in our time.
Yeah.
We've also both been a part of remake collabs, so yeah, we know a thing or two about
Yeah,
remakes. But
remakes are some of our favorite things, like, to do and to
so
watch in the community.
so we're gonna promote four remakes that have come out in the past week. I'd say week and a half. We've got Tale, his Big Surprise for Percy remake, Thomas Mania 24's Escape remake, Mr. Vertebrae. This guy is not as well known, I'd say, but he makes really good content, and you
Yeah,
should
I
definitely
agree.
check him out. He did a remake of Grandpuff, and finally, Mr. Remake Channel himself, Easy Colby, released a Troublesome Trucks remake.
Yeah,
So
like,
yeah,
yeah, it's like those guys like Thomas Mia 24. He doesn't upload as much as most people do, but like when he does, like, it's always nice to see a remake come from him because he always makes good remakes. This one was no exception. It was great. Mr. Vertebrae, like Easy said before, not like Roman said before, like he's not that well known. I think a lot of it has to do, like, he doesn't have any other like social media other than YouTube. He doesn't have Twitter or Skype or Discord or anything. But I mean, I'd like people have like definitely, like, certain people like myself and Roman and some other people in the community have, seen him, and it's in a definitely, and like they've all been impressed by like his remakes. He makes really good remakes. And Easy Coldy, he's a remake channel. Like, need I say more? He's
yeah.
a good
I mean,
guy. He's
that's the end of the story, really. I mean,
yeah,
you can't argue.
yeah,
Easy Colby is a remake channel.
yeah. Anyway, like this next section, final section, kind of is some customs, or a couple. Like, we decided to just have a
Custom
couple for
spotlight,
now.
basically.
Maybe later episodes we'll have more than just two, but we thought these two go pair and pair together. Um, some We thought we'd talk about the TWR Critic's Rebecca custom and the TheSudricLegend's Nia custom. Um, they're two characters that are,
Have been recently released in
yeah, yeah,
the
and
new
both under,
reboot of the show, Thomas and Friends: Big World, Big Adventures, which has been very controversial. But many people have decided to make customs of the
yeah,
characters, especially since Wooden Railway has
Rebecca
been
and
canceled.
Nia, they don't have they only have wood models. They don't have wooden railway, and a lot of people like TBR Critic and Cedric Legend, they've made customs of them, and and a lot, and especially with these two, like, if they were made in wooden railway, like, these would be really, it'd probably be really close to what they made. With the TBR Critic, like, I talk with, like, I'm friends with him personally, and he'd been working on Rebecca for a while, and a lot of great effort was put into it. I was kind of there. Like, he always gave me updates on them, and it was really good. It was fun to, like, see it, like, come together. And I personally don't even, like, care for the new characters because I don't really watch the show now. But I mean, it was cool to see how people would make these engines, because they don't have wooden
They're
railway
just
models.
these two are just
Yeah,
spectacular.
and the
They're
Sudric
really good.
Legend, like his Nia, like the Nia in the show, it's I'd say she's longer than the average tank engine. Um,
She's definitely longer than Thomas.
yeah, but in her wood model, it's just a six wheel chassis. As is like tender engines like Rebecca. Um, and but he put him on he put him on or he put her like on a on
8-wheel
bogies.
chassis.
Yeah, like eight. Well, like bogies, like with eight wheels. Um, yeah, like it's real interesting to see these customs like come together, and well, like I thought it'd be interesting to talk about them because they're or to mention them because, like I said, they go together, and it's something that is pretty recent that happened, like with all the um, wood models that come out. Well, actually, not as many, or like as many that they
Just
announce,
the
and then
the
don't
the
even
big
come out.
debacle of wood.
Exactly. Anyway, yeah, that's
So I think this wraps up our first edition of the 2091 Empire News, or if you want to call it the Thomas Community News. So this was a lot of fun, I gotta say. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm once again in Roman's TWR Empire, and my co-host.
hello. I'm Crimson 2091. We're or Henry, that most people call me. Yep.
And yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Any last words?
Yeah. It's it's real
Oh,
fun
we
to be
should do
doing the
plugs
show.
actually.
Do
We
what?
should do plug. We should do plugs of our channel and Twitter and such.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure we'll do that. Like, and anyway, but anyway, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. I think this was longer than we expected. But hey, we all live and learn. But yeah. Uh, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And also take a look at some other at our other shows that are going to be coming up. We're or either they've already been out or they're going to be coming out. Depends on
Yeah,
where we fit
we're
in the
working hard on
rotation.
this for sure.
Yeah, it depends on where we fit in the rotation. But anyway, yeah, be sure and check the other shows out. Like they're going to be a lot of fun to watch. But anyway, this is Crimson 2091 in Roman's TWR Empire signing out. And have a great
And
great day, guys.
see you guys.